but still useful class yesterday. So today we are going to discuss about servers and services. So what is today's date is 11/01/23. Topic is servers and services. I made up this name, guys. Servers and services. I made up this name. Here in the mainly we discussion about a two directory DHCP DNS concept is there. Okay, so for that one I made up this name. Okay, and small things also there, like what is peer to peer, what is a server and client, not server client architecture, simple what is server, what is client. Next, what is work group and what is domain, what is an active directory, what is DHCP and what is DNS, mainly these things. DHCP, you know the already DHCP server part and DNS kind of stuff. So next, once we completed, if possible, I will try Outlook. Outlook is not comes under server; it is a client application. Okay, and VPN. These two more topics are there. So, but in my PPT, we have only these things on there. Yesterday, I shared this link, guys. Please. You can try to access link. So where is yours? So this is servers and services PPT. Okay, yesterday I shared it. Keep it like that. So last class or before last class, I think we discussed about a operating system. Means Saturday we discussed about a operating system. That time we discussed about a NYS, SOS, and a desktop operating system and server operating system. We discussed. Okay, so that's also better to go once before you reading this one, or otherwise it is okay. There are 2 points. First of all, what is peer to peer? What is peer to peer? What happened? What is a peer to peer? I will draw something here, guys. Already we know what is peer to peer. You know, we are all having a systems here. So then I have a system in my network, and I have another system. Like we have a multiple system in the network, and we have a resources like a router, switches, and printers. Okay, so we have a different resources in the network, guys. This is not representation of course this is a bus topology, okay, but not exactly bus topology. This represents network. That this is represents a network. Okay, so how to tell you are in a network? Simply connected to like this. Okay, meaning is these 3 PCs are in the network. It does not mean it is I am using a bus topology. It does not mean I am using a bus topology. Okay. So think like this is my PC, PCA. printer. Okay, just why I said printer and all, I will tell guys. For example, in my PCA, I have some data. I shared this data. Okay, I shared this data. So then from PCB, I'm accessing this data. From PCB, I'm accessing this particular data. Okay, I'm accessing the data from PCB. So who is having data? PCA. Who is accessing? PCB. Okay. In this particular instance, A act like a server, B act like a client. But there is no server, no client, no centralized servers, no centralized control. Every PC, every device is an individual device only. Okay. They may, in that particular instance, they may access the resources or information from another device in that particular instance only. Okay. Next one, for example, PCB want to access printer. PCB want to access a printer through network. How it will access? Look at PCB accessing in, okay. From I will go to the net PCA. PCA want to printer access. So it will send like this through the network PCC and PCC to printer. Okay, so it is, so PCC shared a printer, so PCA can able to access the printer through PCC. So accessing of information or accessing of resources through the network without centralized server or a centralized controller. That is a peer-to-peer. It is a kind of work group model, guys, where all individual pieces are all comes under peer-to-peer. Okay, point to point is different, peer to peer is different. Okay, point to point is a connection, peer to peer is, so you have a individual systems communicating each other and sharing information, data or resources between two or more system without centralization or centralized control. A system act like a server, other system act like a client. In the particular instance only, it means not always. Means it is not always. Okay, guys, understand what is peer to peer?
Yes, sir.
Next is server and client. What is server and client? Server provide a service. For example, I have a DHCP server. It provide a DHCP service, means client will get an IP address. So client access the service. For example, I have a web server. Web server provided web pages through web service. The web client means the client using web browser will access the web pages from web server. Okay. The original point is here, guys. Server never send. Server, actually pictures are written here. The server never give anything to the client. I said server provide a service, client access a service, but client won't get anything directly from server. Client has to send a request. Client has to send a request. In this one, I put my server name is server A. Okay. This is nothing but a web server. Okay. Web server works based on the HTTP request. It is a web server. Okay. And I have a client PCs, means I have a computers. Not in the particular instance, every time this server is act like a web server only. Again, I'm telling guys, this is a representation of these devices in the network. I will put a PC1, PC2. Okay, what it will happen, the PC1 send a request to the web server, and web server will give PC to PC, that is response. PC will send a request and server will give you a response. Okay, so the request generally idea HTTP request. Client send a request, server respond to the request. Okay, you send a request, you'll get a response. DC send a request, you'll get a response. Just I given this information. So, guys, it is a web server. Web server provide a web server services. Web server provide a web services. It contains a web pages. You will access the web page from client using a web browser. Client side we are using web browser. Already we discussed, we know this one. A web browser to access web related kind of stuff. Okay. So server is a server. Server provides a service. Client access a service. Okay. Next one is client. Actually, this is the main word, guys. So the client request for a service to the server. So client send a request. Server respond to the client. Okay. Client send a request to the server. Server respond to the client. So actually, server never give anything to the client directly. Guys, understand server and client? Hmm? So here, how a system or a server become a particular server? Content time, how a system or a server become a particular server. How how we calling like other question is how we call a system or a device as a server. So answer is based on what service, based on the service, based on the service it providing Next, based on operating system. Based on hardware configuration and type. Configuration or a hardware means that's configuration is based on hardware. Actually, it is enough. Not configuration is also important. Okay. So these are the three ways. Next. I'll put one star, guys. In server operating system, so this is this point. For this point, I'm writing here, guys. By installing built-in feature or a role or package or application in device or a server configuration, a device configuration, a device or a server, whatever the name you got it, or a system, whatever you call it, that as a okay. By installing certain built-in features or a roles or a package or an application or by some configuration, a device or a server or a system, whatever it is, guys, is provide a service and become server. Particular type of server it is. Okay, so in this context, guys, this is will come up here. Okay, based on what service it is providing. There is a different type of servers. This is actually I'm explaining different type of servers. Web servers, file server, HTTP server. Okay, so web server, that is a DHCP server, DNS server, Active Directory Domain Controller, WDS server, mail server, VPN server, virtualization server. Okay. Okay. Virtualization server, we will remove this one. So I will put it separately. Okay. VPN server, storage server, database server. Okay, you know, VPN server, fileware servers. Sometimes it is hardware devices. DHCP server, DNS server. Sometimes it is hardware devices. That's why it is a set device or a server or a system provide a service. How it will provide a service based on by installing a built-in features or a roles or by installing some packages or an applications or by certain configuration, it will provide a service or become a particular server. Okay, guys, each server providing means a server is providing a service. It can be one service or can be a multiple service. Okay, it can be a one service or a multiple service. To provide that kind of services, guys, You have to install either built-in features are there, maybe there is some packages are there, maybe some there is a certain applications are there. By installing it become a server and it can able to provide a service. How to access the service? From client using client application and the protocol. How to recognize the service, how to recognize what service you want to access. For example, I have a database service and a web service, mail services in the same server. Think like one same server, say server is one server only, but it is providing file server, web server, and also DNS server, and it is a mail server also. A client want to get a web service only. How it will get a only web service? Based on the protocol request. Okay. So what is the protocols? What we discussed, already discussed, right? So what is the use of this protocol? Understand what service a client want to access. Client want to get it. So that's the protocol, and protocol represents in the port numbers also. Okay, protocol are a port number we are using. HTTP, HTTPS, web related communication, right? And Apache HTTPD is a package to install in your PC, become a web server. Or Microsoft server it is, then install a Microsoft Internet Information Service, then it is become a web server. Or if you install a Tomcat application, then it is a web server. If you install a Glassfish application, it is a web server. You install a built-in features or packages like FTP, VSFTP, SFTP, it is become a file server. Okay, by installing DHCP, built-in feature or a package, it become a DHCP server. By installing DNS package or built-in feature, DNS server. By installing Active Directory domain services in Windows Server, it become a domain controller. It is authentication server. Again, WDS, Windows Deployment Server, that is also belongs to Microsoft. It is become deployment server, Windows Deployment Server. Mail servers will communicate with the SMTP, POP3 and IMAP protocols. And by installing Microsoft Exchange application or a Linux based like a Zimbra applications. Classroom. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me, tell me.
sir, as you said that peer-to-peer services are the above the topic. So IMAP is also that protocol. It is a client-server protocol, right?
Yeah.
So we can say that IMAP works in peer-to-peer services.
No. So something confusion. No. IMAP is not peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer is very simple definition. It is if two PCs, two devices, not a, there is no permanent IMAP. No. ICMP, you may confuse ICMP. ICMP protocol is a ping related protocol. When you do pinging from one PC to another PC, like you are going to ping B from here. So it uses the ICMP protocol to send a echo request. Okay. ICMP protocol, not IMAP protocol. IMAP protocol, guys, this is not a peer-to-peer. It is it's not like that. It is you want a mail communication, like you send a request to the mail server. I want to get my mails. I want to see my mails. I want to see my mails. So that's we use IMAP version 4 or a POP3. Both are mail communication protocols. Both are for incoming mails. Means you want to see your mails, the request you will send IMAP or a POP3. Exactly same. IMAP to just load mails, POP3 to download a mails. Means completely into your PC. SMTP protocol. This is also mail communication to send a mail. I want to send new mail. SMTP protocol. I want to receive what are the mails in my mailbox. That is POP3 or IMAP. Okay, so these protocols we use in the mail communication. POP3, Exchange is an application from Microsoft. Then a server become a mail server. If you install a Zimra application, a server become a mail server. Squirrel mail application is there. Okay, there are a lot of applications are there. Dovcat is application packages are there. If you install those things, a server become a mail server. A server become a particular server. How a server become a particular server? By installing package or built-in features or an applications or by certain configuration, a server become a particular server. Same goes for VPN server and storage servers. You can configure. So storage server, not a built-in server. It is you have to configure a particular file server or a storage server as a particular server or by installing a certain packages. Database server, you install a Oracle DB application, it is become Oracle database server. Microsoft SQL server installation you done, it is become a database server. MySQL if you install, then it is a SQL server. How these servers get a established? How these servers get a established simple mail transfer protocol? Okay guys, these are the different type of servers based on what service they are providing. I put a separately why I removed this one because virtualization server is a direct hardware based like you take a server, a hardware server, you install hypervisors like a Hyper-V or a VMware vSphere or Citrix and server Proxmox or Red Hat Enterprise virtualization into a hardware server, then it become a virtualization server. It provide a virtual machines. Like it's not providing anything. You create a virtual machines. Virtualization platform it will provide. That's it is a separate. Just for information only, I added here. Okay. Because that option is also here. That's why it is. So earlier I said now guys, servers based on the services. Servers based on what operating system you install. Servers based on what operating system you install. So in that context, guys, whenever you install certain kind of operating system in the server, it is we are start calling it as a server. But if it is not providing any services, if it is not providing any kind of services, then it is called as a standalone server. Okay, so that point also we are going to add here. A server, as it is a operating system wise or a OS wise. OS wise or a hardware wise. A server, you are calling a server if it is not providing any service, then we don't call them it as a particular server, right? It is a standalone server. It is a standalone server. Guys, OS does not mean server, and whatever the server, I didn't say, guys, I have Windows 10. Can I call it as a Windows 10 as a server? No, right? It is not providing any service. It is a client-based operating system. It's desktop operating system. Android is a mobile operating system. Okay? Server operating systems are separate. So that's what we are discussing. That one, we call certain things as a server. If it is providing a certain services, then service-based servers we are calling it as. Okay. Servers, we are calling something as a server based on what service it is providing. What mobile is providing? Nothing. Just it is providing interface. You can use a mobile phone. Operating system is Android. That's it. Okay, just we have a peer-to-peer communication is there. Like you have a simple example. You have a mobile phone. It is a 4G mobile, and you have a data in it. You have a data connection. Someone want a data. Their data is completed. So overnight they watch entire Netflix series. So morning data is not there. So they asked, please give me your data. So how to do? You share a data through mobile hotspot, right? You do mobile hotspot, then he will get a some internet connectivity. But you are not a server, is not a client, a permanent server client kind of stuff is not there. Just you are sharing something to others. That is a peer-to-peer. Guys, different server operating systems came into market because of these server operating system. They have some built-in features. They have they are having a built-in features. They have their own built-in features. What is their built-in features like if you take, so for example, Windows Server built-in Microsoft Internet Information Service, DHCP, DNS, WDS, okay, routing and remote access, storage server related, and file server related built-in features are there. Okay, so just for example, okay, so here it is, the Linux is a basically default SSH server for remote access. Okay. There are some built-in features and you may require a installation of other packages to make it to provide a certain services, or you may require install a certain application, like you want to make a server as a database server. I will install this Microsoft SQL Server in my 2019 Windows Server, or maybe I will install a Exchange application. It's a separate application I install in my Microsoft Windows Server. Then it become a mail server. Okay. We call something as a server based on only operating system, not based on what service it is. So server OSs are there, different OSs. Okay, here IBM I added, but I didn't give it some details. Okay, I have to add some details also. But can you see Windows Server NT 2000, 2003, 2008, 2008 R2, 2012, 2012 R2, 2016, 19, 22. These are the different servers. Linux server. So Linux server is also there. Linux based operating system. Linux server means Linux based server operating system. Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Fedora, Debian, like that. Ubuntu server is also there. Ubuntu desktop, Ubuntu server. Unix based servers are there. HP Unix is there. HP UX, Solaris, this kind of stuff. IBM also using a Z by OS. AS by 400, these are all IBM related OSs also there. IBM servers use server operating systems like mainframe computers use Unix based operating systems sometimes. They have their own Unix based operating systems also. Actually, better to remove IBM, but I give it. No problem. Okay. And I put a one point separate, guys. This is the point. Virtualization servers. Virtualization servers will provide a virtual platform to create a virtual machines kind of stuff. So how a machine become a virtualization server? By installing these type of operating systems. This is not a general purpose operating system, guys. So hypervisor voices type directly install in the system. Servers based on hardware. Servers based on their hardware configurations. server based on what operating system, guys. That is the servers, tower server, rack mount servers, and a blade servers. This is the difference between each and every server. If you don't get it, no problem. There is a different numbers, but when you have a time, just please go through this. I will show you one by one server, guys. The tower servers, guys. Our machine. I have a laptop and I am having good configuration of laptop, i5 processor. Okay, and my laptop having i5 processor, 12 GB RAM. Now today's few we are getting i5, i7 processor with 16 GB RAM also there, 32 GB RAM also there. Okay, 1 TB of SSD is also there, right? But those are not servers. They are just using for a desktop purpose only, not for a server purpose. Okay, for a server purpose, hardware configurations required like this. For server purpose, hardware configuration requirements. So what are there? So like if it is Intel, then it is Intel Xeon processors, Xeon processors. In Xeon also there is a different variations are there. We don't use Xeon processor for, we use i5, i3 processors, but Xeon processor for servers kind of stuff. Multiple RAM slot motherboards are required. Okay. One motherboard, multiple RAM slot. Okay. Use sockets. PCA slots also required. Okay. What is the purpose of PCA slots? NICs. Okay. NICs, number of NICs we put it. Okay. For SD cards, for RAID controllers purpose, we need a multiple slot. Okay. So that is what a system hardware configuration for a server means. Okay. SSDs. Nowadays we are using SSDs. Hard disk connectivity is required. Okay. Okay. HBA. Some are required with the HBA, host bus controller. Host bus adapter. This is for a fiber optical cable connection. Okay. For our fiber optical cable connection, so we need a HBus, HBA kind of stuff. This is also comes under this PCS slot type only. Okay. So they will we'll insert this HBA into that one. Hard disk, CD-RAM, SCSI type of connectivity is required. Okay. So this is I am trying to say it is for server purpose. The hardware inside a server hardware is different from our regular desktop hardware. The cable connectivity, switches, and all that is different from. Just I given one or two points for just getting an idea. Yes, this is a house server. I'll look like this is example. I can take it, but this is Dell India directly. This is a tower server. Okay, you can see these are the SCSI hard disk connectivity, storage connectivity, and you can see here it is some power connection, USB connections, some symbols it is showing. Okay, so this is how it is. Tower server is look like. Can you see these are the storage related? I think so. Multiple CPU sockets are there. Okay, internal parts. Yeah, but cost is there, depends upon the configuration. Cost is there. What is this cost? Oh, 12 lakhs cost. So you can see the configuration also. Power Edge T server. So two CPU sockets are there. Okay, trusted platform module is there. This is a 3.5 chassis up to 8 hard devices, means you can connect 8 SAS disk, that means SCSI disk or SATA disk. We can connect it. Separates two CPUs for handling that one. Okay. Xenon processor. See, depend. So by default, Xenon processor you will get it. But which if you are want to change, see 32C 64T, 32 core 64 thread processor it is. 48 MB cache memory. DDR4 3200 model will support. 12 core 24 threads. 24 core 48 threads. See, these are the Xenon processor. You can understand by now what is the powerful processor it is. The cost of processor itself it is very high. Okay, so silver processor by default we are getting with this model is this one 12 crore 24 threads processor, 18 MB cache memory, hyper threading HD model it is. 128 watts power consumption and DDR4 to 666 model it is. You want to change anything, then also you can change it. Okay. 16 GB RAM, 260 GB RAMs are we are getting. 216 GB RAMs we are getting. Okay. So something this is boot optimizing storage cards. RAID controller is there. So one RAID controller it is given. Can see. This is RAID internal controller. RAID controller it is. SAS means it is a SCSI type of disk. It is normally we are using normal hard disk, SATA hard disk, but in a servers for storing this kind of stuff, okay, we use SCSI type, that is serial connectivity of SCSI. SATA 2 terabyte of SATA connectivity, 2 terabyte of hard disk they are giving. Okay. Perform by your settings, UEFI, GPT partition, 4 fans are there. Remaining are normal jumper card, riser configuration, 2 CPU, 1 GPU riser card is available. PCI riser card. This is data center 5G, open managed enterprise plus. Okay, 10 GB OCP 3.0 network adapter, 10 GB network adapter we are getting. Okay, this is a 1 GB another network card we are getting. I think 10 GB one is fiber optical one. Internal SD password. So I direct kind of so many details we don't understand. I have to ask this. Okay, these are the operating system. Okay, these are operating systems. Which operating system we are not getting any OS. Okay, then maybe you have to buy OS separately. If you want to buy a operating system also, guys. So it is standard 2,56,000. This is 12 lakhs. No operating system. So it is 2 lakhs to 50, 12 lakhs. Data center is very costly. Yeah, tell me now.
Sir, what type of server is this, like database server or storage server?
Yeah, it is just hardware. It is
So
we
we
are
can
getting a empty
configure it
server.
in whatever type we want.
Yes, right. So what we can able to do it? What we want, we take this machine and you want to install a Linux inside, then you can make it as a Linux based system, install some packages and it become a Butler server. Or you want to install a Windows server, then buy Windows server operating system. So somewhere it is there now. So you have to buy some Windows server operating system, install a, if in case you install certain features, built-in features, then it become that Butler server, or maybe install a, you want to make it as a database server. Then what I have done, I purchase this one and I buy a Windows Server operating system. I install it. And MS SQL Server application is there. I installed it. Then it is I configure. Now it is I become a database server. Okay. Otherwise, I will install Linux operating system. I install a Oracle database inside, and it is also a database server. Depends upon it is a base machine, what are the operating system you install and what application or built-in features you do it, it become a Butler server. Okay. So many are there. Just I copy images from different places, just for knowing how it is looking. This is a. So of course there is a good picture is there, guys. Tower server. Next one is rack server. This is a rack server. The rack means this is the one rack, one server type. Can you see this guy is inserting a rack inside? In this data center, he is inserting a rack. So rack server is look like this one. It is also contains same thing in as a regular server. Whatever the server means, it is a computer. It contains a processors, storage, and other things. Okay. Connectivities are there. I didn't specify those things earlier, but I will try. Okay, here I said now, so we need a number of NICs, SCSIs, RAID, SAS connectivities also there. SAS disk, RS SATA hard disk, SSDs. Okay, so SATA means direct hard disk, sense this. What is SAS is a serial SES side. SATA is a hard disk, that is, and SSD, SATA, regular hard disk or SSDs, will get it. Write controllers. Okay. ICs. Built-in write controller. These are things, guys. Next one is this is the blade. If you see, this is the blade. He is inserting a blade in a server. Okay, original blade server is look like this. This is the difference between rack server and blade. See, multiple blades are in the single rack. Okay, multiple blades are in the single rack. tower server, rack server, blade server. So this is a easy picture. Okay. Categories. This is good, right? So now it is also good. Okay, so like this, these are the servers are there. So we can put it like this. So I like this one blade server, what is inserting. So if you see this one, so you will easily understand how this blade servers are. Compared to the guys, the blade servers are occupy very less space. Blade servers actually occupy very less space as compared to other kind of stuff. Okay, so these are the our different servers. What is use of having these many different servers? For different times, different purposes, use different servers. For example, guys, I have a organization. In my organization, I need a server. Okay, in my organization or my personal thing, I need a single server. Okay, what I will do, I'll go to the tower server. I need one single server, and maybe I need a 3 4 servers for redundancy and service. I'm doing, I'm managing my own web server. I want to build my own server, so just I need one server or maybe one or two servers. Tower server is best. I'm having a lot of things in my organization, means I need a multiple servers are required, like a 4 5 servers required, or maybe 10 servers are required. Maybe there is storage, there is a network connectivity, a lot of things are there. Then I will go for rack server. My requirement, server requirement increases. I want to separate my server and storage and network separately. Then I will go for a blade server. So blade server, each blade is lesser the cost compared to rack and tower server. Why it is? The blade server do not have additional storage facilities like a RAID controllers or a SCSI controllers. Okay, that type of storage part is not there. Only blade server content a processor, RAM and SSD. That's it. Each server is a server only. Okay, sir. In class. In class. Hmm? Yes, I said. Classroom learners. Okay, people come. Okay, see guys. So that is a blade server. So blade servers in it is a server, but it is not does not contain any additional features like a remaining servers. That's just the cost is less, and it occupy very less space. The total space occupation is very less. But thing is, if you are using blade server and you have to maintain remaining things separately like a storage related you have to maintain separately, network related you have to maintain separately, like any additional things you require you have to maintain separately. Okay, so in enterprises, so they prefer, in higher enterprises they prefer a blade servers, and blade servers are very easy to changeable, right? So more redundancy required, more servers are required. Okay, more servers are required for a particular service, also blade is more useful. Rack servers are, of course, is a moderate between tower server and blade server, but rack servers occupy space not as a tower server, and towers, rack servers and blade servers, guys, reduce the space utilization. Cabling structures also will be lot of things are there. Cabling are there. Okay, and size also reduce. Okay, and rack server contains both processor, RAM, and SSD plus storage inside a rack server is also there. Coming to the tower server, you know how normal desktops are look like. It is a little larger than normal desktop. It is having a built-in thing like a motherboard, processor, RAM, and SSDs plus storage facilities, network connectivity, HBA connectivity is also there. So that is the main thing. So small differences. If you can able to understand, if you can able to find, that is a good. If you don't get it, guys, don't worry. Don't worry. But try to understand server means. Try to understand server, service, protocols, and they're related, if possible, related applications, application-based service. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Just I'm giving information only. This kind of information no one will ask. No one will ask in interview what is rack server, blade server kind of stuff. Okay, but once you know, guys, that is useful in future. When you are into the IT, you are into the infrastructure management, so definitely must know these basic things, including this kind of stuff. What is a data center? Why I told about a server, mainly blade server, rack server kind of stuff, to tell about something like a data center. Data center is nothing but a combination of multiple servers, combination of different servers. It can be a tower server, or it can be a rack server, it can be a blade server, whatever it is. In data center, we have a networking devices like routers, switches, firewalls, okay, and different type of cables. Okay, different type of cables are there. Okay, different protections like IPS, IDS kind of protections also there. Better to remove this one. So different type of storages like a normal hard disk storages, disk type of storages, SATA hard disk storages, different type of storages are there. So SATA hard disk, or maybe SSDs, and SCSI type of storages, SAS type of storages also there, and type of storages like a NAS type of storages. Okay. This is a separate level right here. So different type of storage related. So storage related. This is a different storage devices. This is comes under storage devices. These are the storage types, guys. NAS type of storages, SAN type of storages, iSCSI type of storages, RAID type of storages. Okay, LVM type of configurations are there. Okay, these are some points, but there is a lot of points about things, and application. Different applications are running in a servers. That is also here. What is SATA? I told about hard disk, right? As I remember, I told about hard disk. Hard disk having two interfaces, right? One is type of interface. So we use a SATA word here. So if otherwise we can remove it. Okay. Otherwise you can remove it. No problem. SATA PATA hard disk. Otherwise you can add SATA PATA type of hard disk. Okay. SATA is a serial advanced technology attachment. It is a single kind of wire it is. Whereas a PATA is a ribbon bus, ribbon type of connectivity. Okay. Interface is connecting from storage device to your motherboard. SSDs, you know already, hard disk and SSDs. SCSI, SCSI, it is a kind of storage devices, and there are certain features are there. Of course, different features are there. And SAS is also from SCSI only. Already I written. SAS means serial attached storage. Okay, serial attached SAS, serial attached SCSI devices. Okay, because old SCSI devices are parallel buses are there. Okay, so to maintain these data centers, these few things are there in a data center. Of course, I told. Okay, of course, what is the data center? Server, storage, networking components, infrastructure means other parts of infrastructures, backups, software means applications are a software part. You have to maintain cooling system, power supply, backup power supply, cabling connectivity. Okay, so here also networking cable I said, power cabling also you can take it. Okay, so environmental monitoring, and to managing this data center, guys, this is a data center monitoring tools also there. I think so I didn't talk about monitoring tools to you. Okay, so but there is a data center monitoring. You have a data center, just I showed some pictures, right? This is all data center is working in a data center. So see this multiple machines, okay, rack servers, blade servers, switches, routers in these data centers are there. You have to monitor these data center, which server is working, which disk is working, okay, which disk is failed, okay, which server is not working, not functioning, which service is running. You have to monitor through the centralized monitoring system. If any issues occur, immediately you have to report in a service report. Okay, you know already we discussed about a service desk, guys. So yesterday also we given some information, right? Something is goes off, something is goes wrong. So what happened, we have to some disk is not working, disk failure. So as a monitoring person, NOC, the profile is NOC, means that they will monitor entire thing. Any issue is occur, disk is failure, immediately create a ticket. There is a particular unit, particular place, a disk is failure. So that ticket will be created, and that the corresponding person will go to corresponding person will get that information. So immediately we go to change the disk. Okay. So this is a of data center, guys. Not only a servers and networking connectivity. Okay, servers performance, application performance, storage um, devices and storage performance also they will monitor. Environmental monitor, because in data centers compulsory we maintain a specific temperatures. Dry cooling system you have to maintain, not wet cooling. Means don't put a water in like a wet kind of bubbles won't get it. Okay, so the cooling system is completely dry cooling. So maintain a temperature, maintain a oxygen and carbon dioxide and other mixtures properly also there. You know why? If more oxygen is happen, if small spark will give full burning, right? A small spark is generated, like plug connectivity, small plug spark generated. If more oxygen, entire building is burned immediately. The burning is very intense. Okay, less oxygen, people working there they will die. Okay, here, okay, less oxygen means you will suffocate and die. So you have to maintain the mixture properly. So a lot of things are there. In a small data centers, not much very high per thing. If you go to data centers like a Google data centers, okay, Microsoft data centers. See, these are the different data centers. Okay. Microsoft data center, Google data center, Facebook data centers. There are very, very big data centers, guys. Okay. Data center monitoring, data center management. All these things. So people really management, immediate actions, people will do work in it. So there is a special categories there. Everybody, every networking guy dream is inside a data.
Sir, you are not audible.
Yeah, that's it for today. Just for tell you what is our group and domain and what is active directory, and that's the point. Okay, first we'll try to finish those points. Okay, DHCP DNS already you know, so depends upon time. Take 10 minutes break only. Come back in a 12:30.